I think Christmas is one of those days that we future trip about. We think, how am I going to not have a drink on Christmas? So, if that's you, I want to tell you about my first sober Christmas and what that was like. And I was only 6 little tiny weeks sober when I did my first sober Christmas. So, let's dig in. Welcome back to the Sober Powered Podcast. I'm your host, Jill, and today we're talking about sober Christmas. So every year for Christmas, my husband and I, we go to my husband's family in New Jersey. And his people, they drink and they have parties, and there's a lot of drinking at this time of year. And I always did it drinking. And I remember in the past, I would go to sleep sometimes with my clothes still on. I would wake up full glam, still in my party dress. And I don't really have a lot of good drinking memories from that time. But despite that, I was really nervous about the first sober Christmas. I thought that everybody's gonna judge me and I'll be left out and I'm just gonna be uncomfortable the entire time and wanting to drink, and that people will notice and they'll ask questions. So the first thing that helped me was to have some support that I could talk to. I was dabbling in Facebook groups at this time, so I could check in with the Facebook group. I think the main issue with Facebook groups is there's a lot of people that are just like trying to sell you something or promote whatever, and they're not really there for mutual support. They're just kind of there to get something. Or there's a lot of people that aren't really ready to quit, that show up just when they need help. But if you can ignore all of that, Facebook groups can be really supportive. I also have a community if you would like to join us and have a group to check in with on Christmas Day or whenever you need us. I also run Christmas meetings. So for tomorrow or the future, if you want to pop into a Christmas meeting, I'm there for you. But knowing that I had people that understood me that I could talk to was a big help. The other thing that helped me a lot was to bring a ton of drinks for myself. Don't ever expect people to have drinks for you, or you're going to be drinking water. And bring way more than you need. When I first quit drinking, I chugged soda water like nonstop. And it really helped me just get through the uncomfortableness of the beginning. So bring way more than you think you need. It's always better to have extra. I also planned on going to bed early, and not going to bed, but just taking time for myself. I envisioned making that post like, yes, I did it. I got through. I stayed sober. And that helped motivate me because I really wanted to feel proud of myself. I was so sick and tired of letting myself down all the time from drinking when I didn't want to. So we traveled to New Jersey, and we always stay with my mother-in-law. So if you can avoid staying with people, I think that's really helpful. But I had to stay at the house where all the parties and get-togethers were. So therefore, that's where all the alcohol was. But I was actually okay. And my mother-in-law told me that she tried to find me non-alcoholic champagne because she saw on Instagram that that was something that I was drinking. And I was so surprised. And it really touched my heart. I felt cared about. It just showed me that we worry about things way more than we need to. Like, I was so worried of being rejected and no one wanting to talk to me. But there's my mother-in-law out at the store trying to find non-alcoholic champagne for me so that I can feel like part of the group. So you never know, is the message there. I also received a gift from a family member of a case of wine from Wines All Over Europe, which that would have been the best gift ever if they had given it to me the year before when I was still drinking. So what I did in this case is my husband and my mother-in-law both knew that I was not drinking anymore. And they kind of had a moment between them. And my husband spoke to his mom later, and she just kept the wine for herself. I didn't have to get involved with this at all. So this is why it's good to tell people too, so they can support you. We expect that people won't support us, but they might surprise you. And the day was pretty relaxing. I got through the party. It wasn't that bad. I watched people do that switch where they go from buzzed to drunk, and it's weird to observe in the beginning when you're not drinking. But I knew no matter what, I wasn't going to drink. And that helped get me through. And again, visualizing, making that post and letting other people know that I did it successfully, that helped get me through. So if you're worried about sober Christmas, I would say either don't go. If you think that you might drink, you should try not to go. Or you should limit your time and leave early. You're not going to ruin anyone's time by not going or by leaving early. You should also have a sober community that you can check in with and either let them know like, hey, I'm having trouble. I just need a little boost of support from you guys. Or, hey, I did it. I got through it. Look at me. I'm so proud of myself. And bring more drinks than you need. Bring yourself some cookies to have a treat. Try to plan something nice for yourself at the end of the night. Take at least 30 minutes at the end of the night to just be by yourself. Treat yourself for getting through this successfully. And look at it like an experiment. We have a lot of judgments about how things will go if we don't drink, but we don't really have the experience of not drinking to know for sure. So keep an open mind. And like that example with my mother-in-law trying to find me non-alcoholic champagne, people may be way more supportive than you think. And just know I believe in you, and focus on how proud you're going to feel the morning after when you wake up and you stayed sober. Focus on that. Feeling proud instead of feeling disappointed again is just such a special feeling, and I really want that for you. So Merry Christmas if you celebrate. If you don't celebrate, well then I hope that you have a great day doing whatever you want and not having to see family and drive and do all the stuff that you don't want to do. And I will talk to you in a regular episode on Friday.